Man Nico, and what we're going to do right now while we go live on Sunday nights, on Sundays we go live because it's lit, live lit, because Rick and Morty season 4 is airing on Sundays. Are you going to show the episode, bro? No, we are not. We're talking about the episode. It's a recap, recap and Rickview. So sorry about that. If you haven't seen the episode, it'll be on Adult Swim. Like probably tomorrow morning, and if it's not on Adult Swim by then, don't know. I'm pretty sure you can find it here on YouTube somewhere, but they will take it down almost immediately. If you're trying to watch Rick and Morty on YouTube, it doesn't bear a lot of fruit. It doesn't bear very many fruit. So my heart goes out to you. Hope you find a way to watch it. But yeah, we are going to talk about this week's episode, full spoilers. So if you guys don't want to hear anything about it, I'm going to go ahead and I'll talk about last week's episode for a couple minutes, and then we'll go into our review of tonight's episode. So any last thoughts of last week's episode of Rick and Morty? If you guys have any questions about this week's episode, or if you guys have your opinions on this week's episode, or anything about season 4 so far, let me know down in the comments. I very much appreciate it and would love to hear from you. If you guys are watching this in the future, still after we've gone live, definitely still put it down in the comments. I'd love to hear from you, and I'll read it off the next live stream if you're watching this in the future. So at the end of last episode, episode 2 of season 4, we talked about how it was a pretty downer of an episode. I don't think it was as sad as the Unity episode, just because like Unity represented a part of Rick that like maybe he thought he could work back to because he knew Unity back in the Disney. But this new guy, this new shy pooper, who actually wasn't even a shy pooper, he just wanted permission to live, whatever that means. I think that story just didn't have the same oomph, didn't have the same impact, because Rick being in a relationship wasn't really something that we were super like keen on. So him having Unity, and of course he would be into a hive mind because like his brain is so crazy that only someone that could possess a lot of brains would get him. But I just felt like that ending was a lot more sad, and also whatever like little thing he unfroze just to kill, in that episode, in the Unity and autoerotic Rick simulation, I think he did that because he wanted control over something. Rick is a person that controls the universe because he's super smart, and when he doesn't like something, he changes it, and the fact that he wanted to be with Unity isn't something that he could change. So I thought that he was more upset over the control part. Obviously, he was heartbroken, all that stuff. I don't know if Rick can be heartbroken, but that's why he destroyed that little thing. I think he just wanted to feel control. He wanted to feel like he was in charge of something still. And then it was, I guess, a suicide attempt after that, in the Unity episode, and then that didn't work out for him either. And I feel like he was trying to stay up. And I also heard a theory about how that machine that he built destroys that thing throughout the multiverse. So if he would have killed himself there, he would have killed all the Ricks. I don't know if that's true. That's just something I heard. And I thought that would make it super deep. Like he has the ability to kill all Ricks. But also like, I think there's something super sad about how he's suicidal sometimes, and he puts in all these precautions to like prevent himself from dying. So like he knows that he has like suicidal tendencies, and he has to put up a bunch of like walls and put up a bunch of like obstacles for himself so he could not die. So I think that's also super duper sad. So I'm just gonna try and tweet this out. Guys, go ahead and put your thoughts about this episode down in the comments. I'd love to hear from you guys. I'm just trying to get this episode out so we could get some more people in the chat. Like I said, if you guys have any questions, or if you guys have any opinions about the episode, definitely let me know. I would love to hear it. Join us. We are live. Hashtag Rick and Morty. I always tweet it out from my phone, but I can't. Are you showing us the show? No, I'm not, Jacob. So sorry. Go watch that episode and then come back here if you wouldn't mind. I mean, you can do whatever you want. But no, we're not showing the episode here. We are recapping and reviewing it, Jacob. So if you do watch the episode, if you can subscribe to us and then go watch the episode and then come back so you can hear us talk about it or you can give us your thoughts. I'd love to hear your thoughts. I'm not going to be on for super long, but if you leave a comment after we've gone live, I'll read it off on next week's episode. So yes, so sorry. I hope that your search for the episode on YouTube bears fruit, but I know for certain that it is free on Adult Swim, but not until tomorrow. So just to let you know. Rick and Morty. But yeah, before you leave, go ahead and tell us what your favorite Rick and Morty anything is. Rick and Morty. Alright, that's good. I'm just gonna tweet this out, and then if you guys follow us on Twitter at Newell Nerds. Okay, thanks, man. Yeah, no problem. Sorry, sorry I can't do that. You know, they'll shut me down, man. But yes, I hope you find it. I definitely would be like you if I didn't have something to log into. Like, I had a hard time finding live TV too. It happens. Don't even sweat it, bro. I'm sure you'll find it. Join us and come chat about the brand new Rick and Morty episode. Don't cry, baby. Don't cry, baby. Do 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 do. All right, let's do it. Now we're doing the thing. We're doing it live. All right, Jacob. Sorry about that. Okay, boom. Starting off the episode. Now we're going to go into full spoilers. If you haven't seen the episode, get out now. If you have seen the episode, come on, chime in the comments. We'd love to hear you. If you guys are here from Twitter, say what's up. If you guys are just here from the YouTube search bar, say, hey, YouTube, what are you doing? I'm looking for the episode. Stop suggesting this with this ugly dude with a beard. Just kidding. All right, so we start off with, it seems to be lovely Rick and Morty adventure. Morty is trying to get ideas for his new heist television show for Netflix. A couple jabs at Netflix saying that high school kids can get a pilot for Netflix. Netflix is getting everything. You guys have any cool Netflix ideas? Go ahead and put them in the comments. Let's try and get it done. Let's get a deal with Netflix. But while Rick is floating in a chair, doesn't want to help Morty because that's not Rick's style. That's not how he does stuff. He's like, hey, you're struggling. That sucks. I'm super cool and super awesome. I don't have to struggle at all. But he throws away an Arby's. He throws away an Arby's bag, and I believe one of their like shameless cash grabs, the shameless times that Rick and Morty sell out when they make commercials and stuff like that. They obviously do it with their own Rick and Morty spin, but they they'll usually have something where Rick's like reading something off, or Rick is counting money while the commercial's going on, or even their Death Stranding commercial that always shows up every episode. I think they did one for Arby's, so that was a cool nod to the beginning of that. They have anti-booby suits, like booby traps. Anti-booby trap suits. At first I thought you said anti-movie, like temple stuff, because they do take a jab at like temple movie, like tomb raiding movies. And they make fun of that whole genre this entire episode. So this whole entire episode they make fun of like the heist genre of movies, and Rick obviously doesn't like heist genres, or so we thought. But I feel like this is just another episode where it seems like we're waiting for it to get to the Rick and Morty part of the episode, you know what I mean? So there's certain episodes, like last week's episode, it's like, okay, like I feel like I'm waiting for like, okay, where's the bona fide Rick and Morty episode? Like the season premiere of season 4. Yeah, it was really funny, but like we're waiting for them to get back to a standard Rick and Morty adventure while Rick is dead and interdimensional hopping his Phoenix programs. We're still waiting for him to get back, right? Or at least that's how I felt. So that didn't feel like a bona fide Rick and Morty adventure episode. So, but I still liked it. I still enjoyed it a lot. And then last week's episode, we were trying to get a Rick and Morty adventure that time, but it turned into a Rick and Jerry adventure, and Rick and Morty weren't really together that whole time. And it seemed like they spread themselves too thin that episode with the Beth and Summer plot and the Jerry and Morty plot and the Rick and the Shy Pooper plot. So instead of having an A and B story, they had A, B, C. So it just felt a little out of whack. It just felt like they spread themselves too thin. So for this episode, I was like, all right, here we go, full-fledged Rick and Morty, 100 years Rick and Morty. Let's do it. Let's do the episode. And it just felt like kind of more of the same. Like, okay, we're waiting for this Rick and Morty episode to start. Like, okay, we got to go get this guy, then we can go on an adventure. But I feel like that's kind of how this show has been doing it. So I guess I just need to recalibrate my expectations for the show, because it seems like Dan Harmon and Justin Roiland are like, okay, well, Rick and Morty, like them going on an adventure isn't fun for you guys anymore because they're so good at it. Going to show the episode, Mike Moore. No, we are not going to show the episode. Go. It should be somewhere here on YouTube. But when you find it, watch it fast, because it will go fast. They are taking them down like crazy. Like when I find the episodes on YouTube, usually like after a couple hours it'll take them down. So go. Well, if you would like, we very much appreciate if you could subscribe to us. And then we're reviewing and recapping the episode. So if you wanted to, so go find the episode. And if you can't find the episode on YouTube, they will be showing it on Adult Swim tomorrow. It is free. You don't have to like put in a TV provider or anything like that. So if you can't find it tonight, which I know it sucks, you want to watch it now. But if you can't find it tonight, it will be on Adult Swim. So if you could like and subscribe to us, and then come back and we could talk about it, even if we're not live anymore and you still wanted to say something, just say, hey, love this episode, or hey, this episode was crap and here's why, and I'd love to talk to you about it. And also we'll talk about it next week. Yeah, no problem, Mike. So sorry we don't have the episode for you. That would take us down if we had it up. So I hope you guys, like I said, wish you guys best of luck finding the episode. So yeah, please don't listen, because I'm going to talk about the episode. I'm kind of in the middle of my review. I just kind of wanted to talk about how I've been feeling about this season so far. I think when I immediately watched them, I'm not super disappointed or anything like that. Like the season premiere I thought was really good, or really funny anyways. I don't know if, yeah, it was good. I liked it, and it was really funny. The second episode was a bit of a downer, but more just because they spread themselves out too thin. This episode, it was okay. It just felt like it kept going. Like they're making fun of the heist genre, but I felt like we kept on getting caught in it. You're making fun of it so much, you kind of became it. I know that was the point, but it just kind of, the joke got tired after a while. Like, we get it, there's double cross after double cross. I know that was the point, but it kind of just got silly towards the end. So they're grave robbing, and I like all the insults Rick gives the hack dipshit idiot who heisted the tomb before they got to, who raided the tomb before them. I thought it was super funny. They're calling out tomb raiding movies and they have a heist con. It's not cool to like the heist. It's not the heists aren't about the heist. They're about the stuff. That was really funny. Rick hates the heist genre. I totally get that. Or does he not? We're going to find out later. He makes fun of assembling montages by doing one for fakes and then doing one for real. So I understand there's this crazy bit. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Wisecrack, but they talk about movies that try to make fun of a genre while being that genre. And a movie that does that is like Spring Breakers. They make fun of like those party movies while being a party movie. So it's like they're trying to make fun of heist movies while still being a heist episode of a TV show. And it's just like, it was super funny, and I liked the return of Mr. Poopy Butthole. I totally dig that, totally get that. But I just the joke just got kind of tired after a little bit. I don't like to be super critical, but that's just how I was feeling. Makes fun of assembling montages. There's an Easter egg here. I think there's maybe a Total Recall Easter egg. Maybe I'm just a pervert. Whatever. I saw a Total Recall Easter egg. There's an alien just sitting in the crowd with 3 boobs. Is that Total Recall? That's the only other time I've seen that. Maybe, shout out. And that was immediately after Rick had just ripped off Doctor Strange to subdue a security guard. It's a Crystal Skull heist off. Is that so? There you go. Jab at Indiana Jones 4. Go ahead and leave a like on this video if you did not like Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. I'll wait. No. Nobody liked Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. I think that... No, I lied. I was like, I remember thinking when I watched it, like, there's some good parts in that, I'm sure. I'm sure I'll find them. But I couldn't tell you one off the top of my head now, could I? So that tells you everything you need to know. Doctor Strange ripoff, Crystal Heist ripoff. There's a bunch of double crosses. Oh, the guy's gonna reveal when they walk in. I think they missed a perfect opportunity because when they're walking in, they're like, "Oh, the police stole it," because they were already dressed like police, and we were the police. I thought they missed a perfect opportunity that to be in the heist or whatever. Like his big reveal was that he heisted the thing and he already did the heist off, because that's what Rick said. This is a thing to make fun of. It was a cliche of the heist genre. I'm going to say heist genre so many times, or whatever, cliche so many times in this review. But they did in the episode, so it's not my fault, it's theirs. But I thought it'd be super funny if, like, when they were walking in, he was explaining how he had already heisted the Crystal Skull. So if at the end, whoever had the Crystal Skull last was the police, or at the very end of the episode even, it was the police, and be like, whoa, they were explaining that the whole time. Boo, he had every little bit done. And then the whole thing's orchestrated by Rick. Rick, smartest guy in the room. Bada bing, bada boom. Rick, smartest guy in the room. He doesn't let anybody show him up. If he's gonna do something, he doesn't half-ass two things. He whole-asses the whole goddamn place. And so he tells everybody to HeistCon. And then, for you eagle-eyed viewers, there's another Easter egg. If you're like, oh, it's April and I want to grab some eggs. Oh, wait, boom, there's an Easter egg right here. Boom. The alien from Blitz and Chits. Blitz and Chits, which one was that? The Blitz and Chips, the Roy game. There was one of the guys that was like, oh, this guy doesn't have a security or social security card for Roy. He's off the grid. One of those guys. I think he was holding a big old drink, maybe an icy. But yeah, he was at this Comic-Con. So Guy loves to go and spend all of his money at Blitz and Chits. It was Morty Night Run. That's the episode. Season 2, episode 2. One of my favorite episodes because I love fart. Cosmos without hatred. Stars like diamonds in the sky. Or is it diamonds in your eyes? Moon men want things their way. One of the best Rick and Morty episodes. Don't at me, just kidding, at me. Go ahead. Twitter, at New World Nerds. At me, bro. So Rick really hates heist movies, and then he becomes one. He became the thing he swore to destroy, just like Anakin, spoiler alert. I don't think anything Star Wars is ever a spoiler alert, right? Darth Vader's his dad. We get the return of Mr. Poopy Butthole. Mr. Poopy Butthole is great. I would love it if Mr. Poopy Butthole was also next week's episode. Sorry, not next week's episode, 2 weeks from now. But it doesn't seem like that from the preview because it's Morty Gets a Dragon episode. But that could just be the opener, and we could never see it again. Who knows? With Rick and Morty, it could end up being Evil Morty Origins, and the dragon was Evil Morty the whole time. We don't know anything. The only thing we know is that we don't know anything. So we got Tuskla, and that was the Elon Musk cameo that they were talking about, I believe, at Comic-Con, that Justin Roiland and Dan Harmon were talking about. I believe Dan Harmon was the voice of Heistatron. And I believe that Dan Harmon has voiced somebody in every episode so far this season. So I wonder if that was a point of contention, or is he just like, hey, did he have a stipulation in his contract if he voice acted in so many episodes, then he would get a stipend or something like that. I don't know. But he has showed up in each episode so far. He was the Fly, and also I think he was God in that guy's Toilet Heaven last episode, and before that I don't remember. But he's been in every episode so far. The Heistatron becomes too powerful, or was that all the plan, or was it randomatron? Who knows? Doesn't matter. I want you to know that it doesn't matter. This is when, like, I know that was a point, but it's just like, you're making your point very well. I'm done with this heist concept, just exactly like you. So I was done by then. I was done with this concept. And we got Minecraft. He's playing Minecraft like he did in the season finale. It was like the Rickorian candidate or whatever, when he's fighting the president of the United States in season 3 season finale. So yes, he likes Minecraft. Very cool. Rick's heist. It was Rick's heist the whole time. I think we all saw that coming. We all saw everything coming. That sounded weird. So it was Rick's. The heist was Rick's plan to get Morty from writing a heist movie for Netflix, because then he would get a deal, and then he wouldn't want to be on Rick and Morty Adventures 100 years anymore. And Beth was like, nah, you're not going to destroy his dreams. Nobody, he has to come from him. So boom, the whole thing was that it was already happening. Boom, we already knew that though, because Rick is afraid to lose Morty because of Adventures, and they could track him, and also because he cares, or does he? Who cares? It doesn't matter. So Rick and Mr. Poopy Butthole at the end, I feel like they're like, oh, how'd you get them to train this or that or whatever? Because you had my students attack me to see if they knew karate. It was super funny. But I feel like they're honest trailer proofing their episodes. That's what I call it nowadays, because I feel like everyone just loves to nitpick certain things. Trust me, I love honest trailers. I think they're really funny, or at least I used to. I don't really watch them anymore. But it's not like they're cinema sins. Boy, do I hate cinema sins. But it's like, that's like the cool thing to do, right? The cool thing is to hate cinema sins. But I just don't like. I just don't like being negative about stuff on the internet. But here I am, Rick viewing and Rick capping this episode that was just okay for a show that I really like. I love Mr. Poopy Butthole. I don't know what it is about him, but Mr. Poopy Butthole just makes me laugh, and I'm glad he's back. I guess it's like what Rick says: love is just, or likability is just familiarity over time. I've known Mr. Poopy Butthole more than those other people that they were recruiting. Boom, it worked. I love nostalgia. I'm a human. We all love nostalgia. Something I thought was super interesting. We are more than halfway to the 5 episodes that we're gonna get this year. We're supposed to get 5. That's 5. And we've gotten 3 so far, so we're more than halfway. And then we won't get Rick and Morty again for who knows how long. This is insane. But there is a 2-week break, so I won't see you next Sunday. I hope you guys have a wonderful Thanksgiving. If you don't celebrate Thanksgiving, then I hope you have just a wonderful week, or wonderful 2 weeks, because we will be back, not next week, but the week after that. But that doesn't mean we won't be putting out content. I'll see you every Tuesday. Do not worry about that. And we will be going live, I'm sure, one of those days. So don't worry about that either. Thank you guys so much for joining in. Like I said, if you guys are watching this in the future, go ahead and leave down below what you thought of this episode, what your favorite Rick and Morty episode is, just anything Rick and Morty, or anything at all that you would like to talk about. If you're watching this in the future after we've gone live, don't worry, go ahead and put it down below, and I will reply to it probably, who knows. But yes, 2 weeks without Rick and Morty. It'll be a long 2 weeks, but I believe we can get through it. The only way to get through it is together. Thank you guys so much for joining me for this recap and Rickview. After the Rick and Morty Season 4, Episode 3, one crew over the crew Morty. They're getting I'm sure they're just 100% tired of making those puns in every single title. But like I said, thank you guys so much for joining us. Follow us on Twitter at New World Nerds. Like, comment, subscribe to everything you see here. Hit that notification bell so you will be with us every time we are live, or just so you don't miss a video. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you guys, and keep nerding out there, true believers. I've spoken. That is the way. I don't know, what is the Rick and Morty one? Blitz and chips, wubba dub dub, say it all the time.